Hi everyone, how's everybody doing today? This is my first live. This is my first live. Hope to see a few people come in. I'm just working on a blanket. This is a corner-to-corner blanket. Oh, I see a few people are here. Just pop in and say hi in the chat. Just let me know what you're working on. I'm working on a blanket. Wondering how everybody's doing today. I'm doing pretty well. It's kind of cold here in New York. So it's my first time doing this. So if anyone has any questions or topics they want to talk about, just go ahead and put it in the chat. Then I'm just this back here, that is a poncho, and then there is a cardigan over the top of it. I'll just go back there and get it for you. Right back here. This is a cocoon cardigan. I have this on my channel. It's just basically made up of 2 rectangles. And then the mannequin is a poncho that I will have a tutorial up on my channel soon for that poncho. I'm still working on the on getting the pattern down right. But thanks for your question. Hi, Diane. You're working on a granny square blanket. Awesome. This is actually a corner-to-corner blanket that I've been working on for quite a while now. It's for my husband. He picked out the colors. They're Karen cakes. I believe it's blueberry swirl is the color. I pretty much work on it in between all my other projects. Oh, she started it. Oh, all right, I see. Your mother-in-law started it 25 years ago. That's pretty cool. That's nice. I wish I still had some of the stuff that my mom had started. She was an avid crocheter, but she was also an avid knitter too. Okay, James, what other projects do I have going on? Let's see. I do have this bag that's behind me back there, the hamburger bag that I'm going to be working on a tutorial for. It's pretty neat. Let me go grab that. I did do a little whip video on that too at one point. This is kind of a neat little backpack that I did. It looks like a hamburger with the cheese and lettuce and stuff. And then it has a drawstring closure. And the straps in the back so that you can carry it like a backpack, or you can just fling it over your shoulder. So I have that going on. And I'm also hoping to get some Christmas projects up too in time for the holidays. I was thinking of maybe doing a Christmas stocking or something like that. I do have one from last year up on my channel, but I'm hoping to do another one too. And, you know, stuff for the family, some scarves, hats, things like that. Anybody working on any projects for the holidays? Or anybody doing anything for the holidays? And I don't know where everybody's from. I'm from upstate New York, and pretty much we're allowed to have no more than 10 people at any kind of a gathering. So we're only allowed to do small gatherings for the holidays, but that's okay. We don't really have a lot of people that we're going to be celebrating with, just a few family members. I'm going to do just a little quick dinner and do some crochet. I'll probably bring my Nintendo Switch too because I like to play Animal Crossing. Oh, hi, Teresa. Oh, England. Awesome. And Diana, you working on some sweaters too? Nice. England. What time is it in England? It's 1:30 in the afternoon here in New York. $18.30. That's 18. It kind of make me think now. 6:30? 6:30 p.m. Yep. Cool. Are you currently working on any projects? Small bits bags. I like doing bags. I do several bags. I like doing little bags and stuff too. I made some little dice bags and stuff for my daughter-in-law and for my son because they play D&D. So yeah, I like doing little bags. And I have a little bag that I use when I go out. I put my wallet in it, my cell phone, just a small one. There's a little bobble stitch tutorial for a bobble stitch bag on my channel that I do. Yep, little drawstring bags. I like doing those. Those are fun. They're quick and they're easy. I like doing bags too. Because these bigger projects like blankets always take me a long time because I have rheumatoid arthritis, so I can only work on them for so long and then my hands start to bother me. So, but do a row, stop, watch a little TV, do another row. Ooh, tissue box covers. Those were fun too. I've done like a plain one. I have like just a plain one that I'm doing. Yes, it is. It's not quite big enough to cover like the full size bed, but my husband wanted one that he could like wrap up in when he's sitting in his chair playing, playing PlayStation and stuff. So I haven't measured it yet. I'm just kind of going along. I'm doing about 3 cakes and then I'm going to start narrowing it down. So I'm on my 3rd cake, but I haven't measured it yet because so yeah, it's pretty big. I mean, technically I've been working on it for over a year. I kind of bring it with me here and there and work on it in between. But he's pretty patient about waiting for it. Does anybody have any pets? I have 3 dogs and 2 cats and a bunny. My little Shih Tzu I have on my channel. I have a couple of sweaters and some bandanas that I did for him. And I have a lab mix named Belle. My Shih Tzu's name is TJ. Pit Bull Roddy mix and 2 cats. Wavy. Yep. I do have a pit bull too. She's a year old. She's fun. You've been working on one myself. It isn't growing much. Yeah, blankets take a long time. That's why I try to do the smaller projects. Sometimes I kind of get bored with the blankets doing the same thing over and over again. But that's why I kind of do a row or two and then I go off and do something else. Pardon me just for a second. My husband texted me from work. I just wanted to see what he was making sure it was nothing, not an emergency. I did do I got that pattern off of Yarnations. That was fun to do. It was my first time working with that Bernat blanket yarn. You know, like the thinner wools. Yeah, I kind of like the medium 4 or a bulky 5 myself. The thinner ones, it seems to hurt my hands more. So yeah, I do agree with you on that. My daughter-in-law, she likes the fingering weight yarn. I did Knit Crate for a long time. I love their yarn. Nothing wrong with Knit Crate yarn. I love it. But I had to stop right when the whole pandemic thing started. I had to stop because we had to cut back a little bit on our expenses. And when I would get a lot of the fingering weight yarn, I would send a lot of it on over to her because she really likes that kind of yarn. But I really did like it, you know, the getting the Knit Crate, and they had a lot of fingering weight yarn in there, especially in summertime. But I usually don't go any thinner than a DK weight, just because it does get a little hard on the hands. And that I don't know if y'all ever used that Bernat blanket yarn. That, depending on the hook that you use, that can pull a lot. I had, when I first started using that, I had just a regular aluminum buoy hook, and that was really hard. And then I started getting these hooks here, these clover hooks, and that made a big difference in my hands. It helped a lot using these hooks. I did try the buoy hooks with the ergonomic grips, but they just didn't work quite as well as these Clover Amore hooks. These work really well. You have these too, Teresa? Yeah, they work really well. I like them a lot. I did try another brand with the ergonomic hook. I think I might have one over here. I think I got it at a Michael's store. Yeah, I got these at a Michael's store. This worked okay too, but again, I still kind of lean more towards the Clover hooks. I think they just work the best. At least for me, they do. Material of the hook works. Yes, yes, that it does. It glides really well with most yarns. Yes, it does. Do you have like a favorite fiber that you like to work with? Diana used for your carpal tunnel with the clover hooks. I do have carpal tunnel. I don't know how bad my carpal tunnel is. The doctor really never told me how bad it was. They just said it was bilateral carpal tunnel. But, you know, I guess I suppose I should follow up with them on that and find out how bad it actually is. Anyway, does anybody have like a favorite type of fiber yarn they used to work with? If it's bad, you know it. Yeah. My husband had full release on, I think it was his right hand. It was before we got married. And they were going to do it on the left hand, but after he had it done on the right hand, he found he really didn't need it on the left hand. He had it so bad he said he could pick up hot things right out of the microwave and it wouldn't even bother his hands because he had lost so much sensation in his fingers. You know, I don't have it that bad, at least not yet. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Teresa. Yeah, he's a bit of an orthopedic challenge. He also he needs to go in probably in the next couple of months to have a knee replacement too. He's been putting that off, especially with winter coming now. I mean, he was hoping he was going to have it done over this past summer, but then when COVID hit, you know, he decided, nah, I'm not going to have it done. So now, and then he was thinking he was going to have it done now, but now things are starting to pick up again with COVID. So now we're like, I don't know if we're going to have it done. So we're thinking he might want to wait a little bit longer. We don't know. He's got to go back and see the doctor and see if he's able to put it off a little bit longer. We're just not real comfortable with having him going to have the knee done yet. Maybe, we'll see. Maybe in the spring things will change and we can feel a little more comfortable having him go in to have his knee done. I mean, hopefully he won't have to spend the night in the hospital. I mean, I don't think most people do anymore. They usually get them in and out now. Oh, yeah. Yep. Yep, he knows that he's got to get up and walk on it and keep walking on it, which is part of the reason why we also don't want to do it in the winter. He doesn't want to do it in the winter time because of the snow and ice. It'll be hard for him to get out and walk. We're looking into getting him a recumbent exercise bike so it doesn't put a lot of stress on the back or necessarily weight on the knee, but he can use it to make sure he keeps the knee working. Oh, you worked in orthopedics. Nice, nice. Yeah, he's been working with his doctor for quite a while now on it with the knees. He's at the point where he's like giving him shots or whatever for the knee is it's pointless because he's bone on bone on his right knee. And the left knee is not doing so good either, but Right now, more importantly, it's the right knee. But I guess it kind of runs in his family. His older brother just had, in the past couple of years, had both of his knees done too. Flexor Set cream helps me. Oh, okay. Thank you. We'll look that up. Thank you. I've used it's just a store brand that I've used that for my hands, but I'll look that one up too. I'll look that one up and see if that helps too, because I'll use it for my hands, especially with the rheumatoid. That I my feet bother me too with it. But still got to get up and walk every day because doctor says if you don't do it, you're gonna lose it. So still got to get up and take those walks every day. You know, dogs enjoy it. Puts fluid in your joints. Awesome. That's great. Yeah, that's definitely helpful. Hopefully the neighbors won't get too loud while I'm doing this. Sometimes my neighbors can be a little bit loud, especially when I'm trying to record. Yeah, it's got some leaf blower or something going next door. So if it gets too loud, I'll do apologize on that. I just realized I was doing too many doubles. Okay. Well, I didn't do it on all of them, just a couple. Where about are you? I am in upstate New York in the Capital District. So in the Albany area. I pretty much have lived in this area all my life. Let's see. I can go ahead and tell you a little bit about myself. Like I said, I've lived in the upstate New York in the Albany area all my life. I'm second time second my husband and I call it second time around married. I have 3 children from my first marriage. They're all grown. They're all grown. 29, 26, and 21. I have 2 boys. I have a boy, girl, boy. And my husband, he has 5 children from his previous marriage. Ages ranges from 29 down to 9. So we still have one still in the house, as we have the 9-year-old that comes over part-time with us. He's He's an awesome little kid. He's got his moments, but he's a good kid though. We have fun with him. Yeah, and like I said, we got the dogs. We have 3 dogs, 2 cats, and a bunny. That's how I got the name Ninja Bunny Crochet for my channel, because I rescued the bunny and she was a ninja trying to catch her. She was this tiny, tiny, tiny little bunny that you could put in your hand, just like that. It was around Easter time about 3-4 years ago. A friend of mine, and I called her up and I said, hey, want to go rescue a bunny? And known her for years. We did a lot of dog rescue together. And she said, do I ever? So we gone out there thinking, here, we're going to be these big, good rescuers. We got a blanket and we're going to try to rescue this baby bunny that I found by a dumpster. And she was definitely not a wild bunny. She's white and with brown speckles on her. She's shorter ears. She's definitely a domesticated rabbit. I figured she was probably an Easter dump. Somebody got a bunny for their kid for Easter, decided it was too much, going to set the bunny free. She was way too tiny to be out on her own. She's sitting right out in the open in the middle of the day. The only thing she was eating was dandelion greens. So it took us about 3 hours. We finally caught her. The only way we caught her is that she got herself stuck in the fence, and we were able to catch her. And I called my husband and I said, hey, where are you? And he's like, about almost home. He was coming back from a men's Bible study group. And he's like, what did you do? And I said, we need to go to the pet store. He's like, you got the bunny, didn't you? And I said, yep, got the bunny. So we didn't know what to name her. So we went with Snowball, because of I don't know if anyone's ever seen The Secret Life of Pets, and the little bunny's character Snowball, and he's always trying to, take over the world. So that's what we thought she was going to do, because she is a sassy little thing. She is a sassy bunny. I had no idea that bunnies could be so sassy. She beats up on my cats. She doesn't take no guff from the cats. She beats up on my Shih Tzu. She takes no guff from the Shih Tzu. I don't let her around the big dogs, because my big dogs have a lot of prey drive and I'm afraid they'll hurt her. So she's not allowed around the big dogs, my lab mix or my pit bull. But yeah, she's a funny little bunny. She's awesome though. So that's when my kids were like, oh, you should name your channel Ninja Bunny Crochet, because that's what we call her. We call her the Ninja Bunny, because she, when she's out of her cage, she's, always hopping around, and she can hop over any barrier that we put up to try to keep her off the living room furniture, because she had a bad habit when we first got her of going potty on the living room furniture. So we don't let her up on the furniture anymore. But anyway, that's how I got the name Ninja Bunny Crochet. Now, if you have any other questions about me or about crochet, go ahead and put them in the chat, and I'll be quiet now since I've been rattling on. But anyway. At least I'll be quiet for a minute. I mean, I suppose, the whole point of doing this is so that you talk. But So where does everybody usually get their yarn from? Do you go to like Joann's, Michael's, online stores? I usually mostly shop at Joann's, but I do some online stores too. My favorite is Hirschner's. I like their store. In fact, I just got their catalog the other day, and they have a free shipping code in their catalog. I don't know if anybody gets their paper catalog, but they have a free shipping code this month in their catalog. So I'm going to be putting an order in definitely on that. Take advantage of getting that free shipping, because Lord knows shipping is kind of expensive. Let's see, I see we have seven people in with us. So where's everyone else from? I know we had a couple of people say where they were from. Where's everybody else from? Online. Yep. Okay. So you don't have, and in England you don't have like the big box stores. Oh, okay. So Wool Warehouse and Mariners. Hi, Karen. You're from Massachusetts. My daughter just moved from Massachusetts. She was living just outside of Boston, and she got a job back here in New York. So her and her boyfriend just moved back here. Ah, I see. You're in the country. Yeah, I'm more in a city area where I am. I would love to be more out in the country. I bought a two-family house in the city because at the time that's what I could afford. And now I'm kind of stuck with it for a little while. But I do rent the upstairs out, so that gives me a little bit of income with that because I had to leave my job about almost 6 years ago now due to the rheumatoid arthritis. I was a claims examiner for an insurance company, and I couldn't do the typing anymore because they required a certain number of claims to be processed every day, and I just couldn't meet the quota. So I left my job, and that was right before my husband and I got married. And I guess I'm not sick enough for disability, but I can't really do the job I was doing before. And my prior job before that, I was working in a vet's office doing not a vet tech, but doing a veterinary assistance. I was basically cleaning cages and sweeping up and helping the groomer do baths and brush outs and stuff like that. And I couldn't really do that either because of my hands and, well, my feet too, because the rheumatoid is affecting my feet as well. So I couldn't be on my feet a lot, the whole day. But my husband was like, don't worry about it. I've got a good job. We'll be okay. So I said, okay, we'll be all right. And then I was like, well, maybe I'll try this YouTube stuff and see if I can do that for a little while. Never intended to really monetize or anything, but then I got to the point where I could, and I said, okay, well, I'll do that. Not like I make a lot of money on it or anything, not really at all, but gives me a little bit of money to buy some yarn with. So that's pretty cool. So I gotta get a drink. So pardon me. I really do it just to have something to do during the day. That's really more why I do it. Because it gives me a focus, gives me a reason to get up and move around and do stuff. I mean, not like you're, exercising or anything when you're crocheting, but, between taking care of the dogs and, knowing, well, you got to get up, got to do this, got to do that, got to work on a project, got to do a video. It gives me a reason to get moving. Semi-retired here 2 days a week. Awesome. My husband's looking forward to retirement too. Won't be for a while because he does have a 9-year-old. So we're gonna wait until he goes to college, and then at that point he'll retire. But he works with computers, so it's not like he doesn't have a physically demanding job. It's more mentally demanding. I mean, he does have to, move some equipment around, but it's not as physically demanding as, like a construction job or something like that. And right now with the pandemic going on, because he works for the state of New York, he's only going into the office 2 days a week, and then he works from home 3 days a week, which works out really nice because it's actually nice having him here. The only thing is that I tend to not get as much done with him here because, like, I don't know, it just seems nice to have him home. So, we tend to chat a little bit, especially in between his, his calls and his tickets and stuff that he's working on. We tend to chat, but it's nice to have him here for lunch and stuff. And also to help me with the dogs, because the 2 younger dogs can get a little rambunctious. So, and helping get them outside and get them out sometimes, because when I do get them out, I got to take them out one at a time. I was walking them both at the same time, but that got a little bit hard. You've worked all the way through this. Yeah, my youngest son, he was cleaning office buildings, and then he's back doing construction. So he's been working all the way through this. My stepson is a mechanic, so he's been working all the way through this, going to his job. My daughter is a biomedical engineer, so she's been doing work from home. My oldest son does computer. I don't know how to explain what he does. He does security for a company, a payroll company, so he can actually work from home too. So my 2 oldest have been really lucky because they can work from home. I worry about my younger one because he was going and cleaning offices and he was out a lot, but he's been safe, hasn't had any issues, has not gotten sick or anything. So knock on wood, praise the Lord, he hasn't gotten sick. So yeah, I've been pretty much staying inside most of the time because I do have to take care of, I do go over and help my dad out. My dad's 76. So you work in the hospital, Teresa, and that's 7 years before you can fully retire. Yeah, it's kind of scary working in a hospital, I would think, with everything going on. But right before we shut down here in New York, my dad had prostate surgery and he was in the hospital. In fact, the day they closed hospitals where we couldn't go and visit patients was the day he was released from the hospital. And we didn't even have a clue that everything was being shut down at that point. But I got him home, and then I had to make sure doing his grocery shopping and stuff like that, because there was no way I was going to let him out, because one, he had just had surgery, and two, he's got COPD, and I didn't want him out in the stores or anything trying to, with this whole thing going on, plus being 76 years old. I was like, nope, nope, because if he caught COVID, that would be it. I don't think he'd survive it. But like I said, praise the Lord, he's been good. He hasn't gotten sick either. And his wife, my stepmom, is in a wheelchair. So, I don't, she had a bout of Guillain-Barré's several years ago, and she never fully recovered from it. So she's wheelchair bound. He takes care of her a lot. God knows how he does it with his health conditions, but they seem to get along okay. So, but I still make sure he's got his groceries and stuff like that, and then he did start doing them online, ordering them online and stuff too, which was good. He's a tough old bird. He doesn't really want anyone to help him, but sometimes he just doesn't. Sometimes he's got no choice, and I tell him, look, you got no choice in this one. I'm going to help you whether you like it or not. So it's like, and my brother's always telling me, well, you got to make Dad do it, and I'm like, well, easier said than done. But, yeah, that's good, Teresa, that you help your dad and other neighbors too. We do have a neighbor next door that's elderly. My husband's always looking out for him too. And the people on the other side of us, the gentleman was in the hospital. I don't think he was in the hospital during COVID, but he was in the hospital right before it. But he seems to be doing well. We catch him when he's sitting out on the porch. But he seems to be doing a lot better. I believe he had a heart attack, but he seems to be doing a lot better now. So yeah, just seems like sometimes, and nowadays people don't really, look out for their neighbors. So I'm really happy to see that you do that. It's like people don't know their neighbors. When I was a kid, everybody knew their neighbors. Seems like nowadays, people don't talk to each other. Just a shame. I don't know if it's just maybe people are just, busy, and they just don't, you know, they're just too busy with their jobs and everything. I don't know. Guess I'm just rambling. So does anybody have any hobbies other than crochet? Like, diamond dot painting or plastic canvas, knitting, anything else like that? I have done some diamond dot painting. I found that to be kind of fun. I used to do plastic canvas a lot when I was younger. I don't know if people really do that stuff anymore. Do the plastic canvas. I used to make tissue box holders and stuff like that. See, question, besides Karen's Simply Self, what other yarns would you suggest? Okay, bye, Teresa. Have a great day. One of my favorite yarns is I like, it depends on, like, if you're looking for like a self-striping yarn, I like the Bernat Pops and the mandalas. But if you're looking for a solid color yarn, um, if you have a Joann's nearby, I like their big twist yarns. I think they're much softer than the Red Heart, but they're not as soft as Karen Simply Soft. If you're looking for something as soft as Karen Simply Soft, I'm not sure if maybe something like Lion Brand, I think it's Heartland is called, or Hometown. One of those is really soft too. I find Karen Simply Soft to be kind of really splitty. I kind of like have a love-hate relationship with it. Um, Not sure of something else that would be as nice as that, but not as splitty. Maybe you like to sew too, and Karen knits and crochets. My daughter-in-law sews. I used to have her mannequin behind me too. She had a uh, top. I think it had like I think it was so called an A-line skirt to it. I'm not really sure because I don't really sew, but she makes all kinds of ball gowns and stuff. She does a lot of hand sewing. She does cosplays, and she really likes to sew a lot too. Quilting. That sounds like that would be fun. I had a cousin that used to quilt a lot. She started off with doing it by hand, and then she started doing using a sewing machine to quilt. I never, as far as knitting goes, my mom was an avid knitter. I never got, I never had the patience to learn how to knit when I was a child. Taught me how to crochet, but I never had the patience to learn how to knit. And unfortunately, she passed away when I was 21. So she never taught me how to knit. She was also a very good seamstress too. In fact, she was going to be, I had just had my first child, my first son, and she was in the process of making him clothes, like baby onesies and stuff when she passed away. So that was what she was supposed to be teaching me right before she passed away. And I was like, well, I mean, of course, I was very sad that she passed away, but then I also then learned how to sew too. So I'm hoping that my daughter-in-law will be able to teach me some sewing stuff. I'm hoping to get a sewing machine and that she can show me how to do some sewing, because I think it would be kind of fun to learn how to sew. But I think quilting would be fun too, because I like quilts. Those are pretty. My husband likes them too. My mom used to make it was back in the 80s. I think it was 80s. Yeah, 80s when the Cabbage Patch dolls were popular. She used to make her own Cabbage Patch dolls. And yeah, it was pretty cool. She used to make those. And she also made she made this crochet doll for me, and it was out of a shampoo bottle. And for the life of me, even out of all of the things that I had from her, I can't find that pattern, and I've never been able to find that pattern, how to make this doll. It was it was a shampoo bottle. It was this old Suave shampoo bottle, and had a styrofoam ball for a head. And yeah, and it had these like floppy arms and everything, and she embroidered the face on it. I named the doll Casey. I do remember that. I called it Casey. And the sweater and pants that she made for the doll was in Red Heart Mexicana yarn, which is why I like when I saw it. It was on clearance at Walmart, this Mexicana yarn. It's just like bright rainbow multicolored yarn. I bought all that they had because it just reminded me of my mom. And I made a corner to corner blanket and a pillow out of it, which is on the blanket is on the back of my chair in the living room and the pillow's on the couch. Of course, the dogs kind of messed up the pillow a little bit because they like to lay on pillows, but I still have the blanket. But Karen did some sewing in her high school years. I took a class. We were supposed to learn how to sew in high school. I didn't really learn how to sew very well. I was not a very good high school student. I did much better in college, but I was not very good in high school. I didn't really pay attention too well. I was too busy. I was too busy wanting to party and hang out with my friends and whatnot to pay much attention in high school. I was a bad student. But bad student. But I did better in college. I actually made the dean's list in college, so I must have learned something while I was in high school. So when I went to a 2-year college for, believe it or not, early childhood education, and I did really well. And I guess it did help because I was a stay-at-home mom for 17 years. What year did I graduate? High school, I graduated in 1988. So my daughter-in-law is going to pop in here in just a second. She needs to grab some ribbon. So you might see her pop in here. Graduated in 1979. Cool. I'm trying to think of what year my 1980. So my husband's probably about around the same age as you, Cindy, because he's 6 years older than me. You're 8 years older than me. So he's like probably 2 years younger than you, because he should have graduated 82, I believe, because he's 6 years. Yeah, 6 years older than me. So he's probably about your age. My husband's actually a California boy. God knows why he ended up in New York. We went out to California a few years ago to visit his brother, and it was really, really nice out there. Very expensive out there to live, but God, it was so nice. I asked him if he ever wanted to move back there, and his answer was actually no. And I was surprised because I would have loved to live out there because it was so nice. It was warm. I hate the cold. Yeah, I know. I live in upstate New York and I hate the cold. But I do. I don't like the cold because I get cold so easily. St. Clair, California. He grew up in Huntington Beach, California. And his brother has a family. It was part of their inheritance from their parents. He's got a condo on Catalina Island. And we went there to go visit him. Come on in. Say hi.
Hello, hello.
Born in Wyoming, but my father moved us around. Ooh, I've never been to Wyoming. Really haven't really been, other than when I went to California, but we kind of flew over everything. Past Mississippi. They're saying hi to you.
Hi.
Oh.
She got a little too excited this morning.
Well, I guess it means she's feeling better.
To an extent, New York winter's kicking her butt.
It's my My grand dog, Nami Swan. She's a sweet pit bull.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't have grandkids. I have grand dogs. And grand kitties.
and grandkids.
And grand lizards, yes. Maybe not.
Okay. Yeah, it's fine. I can make one. Not a big deal.
Actually getting a row done on this blanket.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
My blanket's forever.
Well, I started this blanket like last year. This has been a 1.5-year project so far.
Yeah, but how long did that piece of blanket take you?
Logan's pizza blanket didn't take me that long, but I knew I had to finish it because it was a Christmas present.
That's true.
And he was a child, so I knew I had to get it done. See, but you know, this one's for Dad, and he's really patient. And he's really good about it. So
It is. All right. Great.
Okay. Have a good one.
You too.
Now, my husband started in California. He went to school in Seattle. He got married to his first wife. They moved out here to New York because her family's from out here. Then they moved back to California. Then they came back to New York. And somewhere along the way, things didn't work out. And then him and I met. So, and me, I've been here the whole time. Yes, it was. It was really nice out there in Huntington Beach. Not an area though that we could afford to live now. It's, you know, my husband was saying from when he was a kid, it's built up quite a bit, but it was very nice out there. He still has at the time, I don't remember exactly where his brother was living. His brother has moved since. He retired. He's a doctor. He retired. Well, he's semi-retired. Oh, you live in San Diego now. We went to San Diego while we were there. We went to the San Diego Zoo, and then there was a ship that we went to that was converted into a museum. Honestly, I don't remember the name of it, but it was really nice. And then his cousin lives in Chino Hills, and we went there too. And that was nice. I like the mountains. They're different. Midway, yes, that was it. That was the ship we went on to. That was interesting. I really liked that. But San Diego was nice. Like I said, I really liked California. My husband didn't want to move back to California. I mean, we wouldn't anyway right now because of his son. I said, but he was just like, nah, I don't really want to move back there. We're thinking maybe once he retires, we might go maybe down south a little bit because of the warmer weather. But I don't know. We'll probably end up staying up here. All our kids are, well, not all of our kids, but most of our kids are up here. And who knows, by the time Logan graduates high school and goes to college, you know, we might have grandkids, maybe. Idaho. Never really thought of Idaho. because my husband works for the state, I believe it's Tennessee is one of the states that he can move to that they won't tax his pension. So he won't be overly taxed on his pension. But who knows, by the time he retires, that might change too. I guess we just have to keep it all open-minded and see what happens. Because I mean, I'm sure if we had grandkids, we're not going to want to move too far away. We're going to want to be able to see the grandkids. But, well, I'm hitting an hour now, and I do have some other things I need to do today, so I'm gonna. Oh, wait a minute, somebody just got on. Oh, thank you very much. I'm glad you enjoyed the pocket shawl. I appreciate that. Thank you. I am going to be hopping off, though. I have been on for an hour, a little over an hour, and I do have some other things I need to do, but this was fun, and I'll definitely try this again. This was my first live. I appreciate you all being on and hanging out with me. So I hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.